Hey everybody, welcome back to today's live stream, and the audio is working. Voila, guys, we got that going. I think I just misspelled the word cinema. I have to end this Q&A just to recreate it. I was like, oh man, this is a good question here. What is your favorite? Oh well, I gotta retype the whole thing. What is your favorite monster in movie cinema? And that's the Q&A for today. How are you all doing on this wonderful Sunday afternoon? We are here. We are back. We are doing things. Today we are going back into our previous live stream, the stuff that we had going on. We're just finishing up our monster that we have been doing for the last few weeks. Last week, of course, we were out and about doing other things because it was Mother's Day. Hopefully you guys called your mom and said Happy Mother's Day to her. Today, though, is not Mother's Day. So we are back to making monsters. We are back to grinding on the VFX, okay? So let's see. I want to first, before we get into everything, if you guys would like the project files, you can download those. Those are in the link in the description. They are located on the Patreon. And with that being said, I want to give a special thanks to our wonderful Patreon subscribers that we have had who joined the Patreon in the last couple weeks. So thank you guys for joining and partaking in the Patreon. You get all the project files and everything, of course, that there is to offer on the Patreons. But yeah, now we're into it. Hey, Satya, welcome into the chat. How are you doing today? What is my emojis aren't popping up here, but they are down there, which is really funny. And guys, I feel like my eyesight lately, it's been like there's like this a little bit of distance, and now it's like things are starting to get weirdly blurry. Not good. I've been staring at the screen for too long, I think. And we gotta not do that. We gotta not do that, guys. All right. This is the shot that we have so far. Okay. We already kind of lit the thing. It's already lit. We did a little bit of sculpting, and then we did some animation work. So this is the animation that we did last week. Have I been sleeping well? Honestly, no, I haven't. That is a good point. I haven't really been sleeping terribly well. But yeah, here is the monster that we have so far that's chasing our boys out of the river. And this is the shot of the river, of course, as they're running. So, today we've got a few different things. There are a couple things left to finishing up this monster. We need to roto our guys, all right, as well as all the water splashes. And then we have to add in a bit of a water sim to the CG. And I don't even know how much of a water sim we really need, because majority of the magic that we are going to be putting over top of everything is additional splashes. And we don't really need to we don't really need to do CG simulation of water in order to get that to happen. We really just need to do compositing of some 2D pre-existing splashes, which we luckily have through Action VFX. But before we do that, let's get our roto done on our dudes, all right? Because really, we don't know how much we're going to see until we know how much they cover, right? And then we're going to be as minimalistic with the approach that we're doing on this as possible. So obviously today we won't be compositing everything in, but we can get started at least with some stuff. So for instance, we can do a play bash of our actor here or our creature here, put that inside of our comp, and then we can also do some rough roto. And then all we then do is do all the water kind of stuff today. So that's the goal. That's what we're doing. Yeah, so Satya, how are you doing? I'm sorry, I didn't really get to chat with the chat yet, but how are you doing on this wonderful Sunday afternoon? So I think the first thing to do with roto, though, is we are going to want to run this through, more than likely, we're going to want to run this through DaVinci Resolve or something like that, just to see what a quick roto looks like. So I'm going to open up DaVinci Resolve and we can get started on that. Some tasty stuff. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, I just did like a brunch thing with my dad, and then I got back to start my live stream. So that's been my day so far. Um, yeah, we usually go out Saturdays, but guys, I have been casting for my new film. Very exciting stuff. And so many auditions, I must tell you. It's been like a whole. Oh, I should have done live stream plates. I don't know why I did live stream time lapse. It's the wrong timeline, guys. You're now looking at my shorts that I do. There's my face. Okay, let's close that. But yeah, guys, I've been doing a lot of audition stuff lately, and that has been insane. First day that I had my auditions up for casting, I had over 2,000 audition submissions. Over 2,000. First day. And at this point, we've leveled out to about 5,000 audition submissions. So it kind of cooled down a little bit. But I have over 2,000 just on one of the parts. It's actually nuts. I really was not expecting to get so many auditions for a short film, mind you. It's not even a feature. Okay, I'm going to, just so that this screen is a little bit larger over here, let's close the gallery and let's also close clips. And then, let's see, that should be good. I might close timeline as well. Perfect. Thank you, Marvin, and also welcome into the chat. Yes, lots of promising candidates, very talented people. I was joking with this casting director yesterday, which is why I got started on the whole conversation. I was just chatting with this very talented casting director. And I was like, I feel like I got all of Los Angeles to audition for my film. All right, where's my tools? What is going on here? That is the focus tools. That's why we are not seeing correct stuff. There we go. Hello, Waters Media. Welcome into the chat. How are you doing today? And what's up to you too? All right, I'm going to plug this over here, and then let's turn that on so we can see what we're selecting here. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little bit more of a overall selection of our dudes. I'm okay with a little bit of splashy splashes getting selected here. Let us try making this better. Might be worse. You know, sometimes better is not better. Sometimes better is worse. Now imagine casting for a big studio like Disney. I cannot. I mean, if I got that many submissions for a short film, I could not imagine what it's like. You know, when they're saying like they're looking for like the next Harry Potter, or, you know, my brother brought this up yesterday. I was talking to him on the phone and he's like, dude, imagine casting like the Christopher Nolan Odyssey film. Like, imagine how many auditions you would get for something like that. It's just absolutely nuts. I don't know if they do casting how I was doing it, but so I'm using this website called a Breakdown Express, which owns Actors Access. And if you're an actor, then you probably know about what Actors Access is. But Actors Access, for all those who don't know, is a website that posts auditions and allows you to submit your resumes and your reels. And then from the studio side, so I guess from me or the filmmaker side, we have we get to select people, and then we go, all right, you get to audition for the part with a self-tape or a live audition. And there's like multiple ways you could do it. So you could actually have people send in a self-tape, which is like a recording of yourself performing the role. Or there's the, hey, we'll set up like a Zoom call, and then you're going to audition for me on a Zoom call. So it's a virtual live. And then there's the third option, which is the old school method, which you may have seen in like movies like La La Land and like how you would expect most casting to kind of happen, where you have, let's say, a room, and then you have a bunch of actors out in the lobby, and you have them come in one at a time, and they perform directly in front of you. So those are like kind of the three methods of auditioning people for a film. And yeah, so what I'm doing is this first round is self tapes. So we send out all the material to everybody, and then they can send in a clip of them, and then they probably recorded it a couple times, who knows. They upload it to the website, and then I can preview what it looks like from there. It's very cool, very fun. Why is this not tracking? What is going on right now? My ever since I updated DaVinci Resolve, I think, to this version, I've had so many issues with doing the roto stuff, guys. Like, it doesn't like me anymore. It's like it's telling me my computer sucks, I think, which I don't really appreciate. But anyways, those are the 3 ways to do auditions, and I have been going through all the callbacks. Very, very cool, guys. I don't know if I can show you guys this stuff, so I don't really want to, because it's got people's information in the sense of like it only has like their name and their face, but I don't know unless they're like getting paid. I feel it's different once I hire them onto the job, then I can show you guys who we have and their audition and whatever. But for a bunch of people who were just submitting applications for stuff, it's very different. Then, I was not prepared for this, but I got absolutely bombarded with emails. People found my phone number. Someone showed up to a networking event I was at on Thursday and was like, "Hey, you're Connor. I auditioned for your thing." And I'm like, what is going on? I was like, it's a short film, guys. This isn't like the next big Marvel thing, I promise. Like, it is not that. Okay, we're going to not use this method if this is not going to work for me. Okay, let's just close this. Okay, so fun. How am I going to do this? I guess I have to do this the hard way. It's fine. We can do it the hard way. We'll do it the hard way, guys. We're going to do it the hard way. Which just means that we're going to have to roto everything ourselves. But don't you fret. I'll be right here with you. Hey, Zach, welcome into the chat. I was just talking about the arduous process of auditioning people. And it's been a whole thing. It was so cool though, because my last film I did, I was auditioning people through Facebook. So it was definitely not professional. It's either the hard way or no way. Well, sure. Yeah, I'm gonna apply for just to make sure life is a bit more miserable. Amazing. Hey, I can't wait. Hey, what in the heck are you doing today? We are trying to put the monster behind the people, which requires us to roto these people out. And my DaVinci Resolve is not working for Magic Mask right now. So we are going to use Mocha Pro. I don't even have silhouette, guys. So this is going to be today is a roto and talk day. So we're going to roto and talk. And I got things to talk about, all right? I got all of this last week. Let's see, upgrade now? No, later. We'll do it later. I've got all of this last week of casting that I basically had to go through. Okay, we're going to do his head first. This is how I like to roto things, guys. I like to do individual things first. So we'll do this guy. Boom. Wow. It is going all over the place. Today, my computer is just not wanting to track stuff the OG way, the original way. But it's like apparently not working at all because I think the water splash is throwing it off. Are we joking me right? Are you joking me right now? I don't understand. Why is my... Okay. I'm going to get really frustrated because I really want to use DaVinci Resolve. I don't want to roto this. This is not what I was planning to do all of today. I really was just hoping this was just going to work. And, damn. Damn, guys. We're going to try DaVinci again. If it doesn't work, I'm uninstalling the older version of DaVinci Resolve. That's just what's going to happen. And NVIDIA driver? I mean, you might be right. Ever since I've updated to this version of is it GeForce Experience that I have to do it in? Ever since I updated to this version of DaVinci Resolve, it has not wanted to roto. And I completely forgot about that until I just was doing it on stream just now. And I'm like, oh, that's right. It's like I don't do a lot of roto myself anymore, so I don't even think about these. Agree to install. Sure. Man, we don't have the GeForce Experience. Guys, today is an IT troubleshooting day. I was actually telling this to someone on when I went to one of these networking things. I said one of my favorite things about what I do on my live streams, and it's also one of the most frustrating things, I like the fact that I don't just show you the parts that work. You know when you watch tutorials on YouTube and it's just like, it's this step, then this, then this, then this. Well, that's not at all how VFX works, guys. VFX is this, hey, it's not working. What the heck is going on? And then you've got to figure it out. And I think that makes the experience of the live stream more interesting. It's the entire package, good and bad and troubleshooting. Mostly troubleshooting. Okay, I got to relaunch. Let's see. GeForce Experience, optimize game and application settings. All right, do I actually have to log into this thing? It's telling me I need to log in. I didn't know I needed to log in order to use the GeForce Experience. Okay. All right, to protect your account, we send email. Oh, thank you. Guys, they sent me an email. It's okay, I'm authenticating it. It's telling me not to share this with anyone, which is why you guys don't get to see my screen. All right, there we go. We are logged into the GeForce Experience. Let's check our drivers now, I suppose. And thank you for your concern, NVIDIA. Oh, there is new drivers. Imagine that. I suppose I'll just do game ready. I imagine that's probably the better one, but I don't know. I know they've got the studio drivers and then the game drivers, and I never really understood which one I should really do, because the studio ones I think are more focused on, well, I don't even know, because game would make the most sense for render engines, right? Or am I wrong on that? Maybe one of you smart guys knows. Maybe one of you out there knows. I'm just not a hardware person in general, so oftentimes when I'm doing this kind of crap, I don't know anymore, you know? I wish I just had an IT person. I could just be like, hey, IT person, please take care of this. You never had any issues with having just either one of them? Well, I know that's the point. I feel like I've had studio sometimes, and then I've had the game, and it doesn't, and I feel like every time the IT person that comes to help me at my computer says, oh, you have the studio, you're supposed to have the game. Oh, you have the game, you're supposed to have the studio. It's like they go back and forth. They don't even know. Express installation, I guess, is what we want. We're going to do things very express here. Hopefully I don't have to restart my computer. That would suck for the live stream. That's why I should stream from a different computer. Hey, Baragon Productions, welcome into the chat. How are you doing today? I guess to answer Comfy Tutorials questions from earlier, today, what are we doing? We are IT troubleshooting, and that means you guys are going to stare at my face. So, you know, hey, if you got any questions about the films I'm working on right now, now is the time to do it, because I can chat all day. Today is going to be just a chatting kind of day, which I guess are types of live streams, right? People that just talk. IT troubleshooting stream. Let's go. I know. I feel like this should be a Linus Tech Tip type of live stream. You know, why don't they just live? See, that's my point. Every YouTuber, and maybe they're just very successful. See, I'm not super successful. I got 5,000 subscribers. But, you know, these other YouTubers, it kind of bothers me. They only ever show you the good side of, you know, building a computer. They don't show you the arduous, like, hey, I'm going to bang my head against the wall right now type of part of VFX or IT troubleshooting. Hey, man, you got to put that espresso jazz music on and just vibe out as you're trying to figure out what the problems are. That's what I say. Let's see. Let me just end this Q&A because no one wants to answer the Q&A. It's okay. It's all right. Should have said ask me anything. But it's all right. Oh, man. I don't know why it's taking so long. But how are you guys doing? I guess that's the real question, okay? One of the biggest challenges I ran into with doing my casting, I will say, is that you can tell people what you're looking at from a demographic perspective. You didn't even see the Q. Well, he was in the chat. I don't know where it goes, all right? I'm a streamer. I'm not a... What do they call people that watch streams? So you have streamers and then you have streamies? So are you a streamy? A stream partaker? Or well, you see, it's got to be one word. There's got to be a one word, a viewer, right? Audience, viewers, chatters. I think I cringe a little bit every time I see audience. Yeah, audience. Every time I see the streamers who say like, "What's up, chat?" You know, when they talk to chat, like they say the word chat. I think that just bothers me. I try not to say that. Instead, I'll be like, "Hey, welcome into the chat." I say that a lot. But referring to chat, I think, is a little cringe. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe today, guys, instead of working on this, we just play League of Legends. I am now a gamer. It's the Gen Z cool kid term. What? Chat? I guess you're right. You know, so wait, it's millennial? I think we're back. I think it's happening. Yo, yeah. Sound is back. Yeah, yeah, you might get like a 6-month ban for that one. Is that that was a malicious You were trying to trick me there. I see what's going on now. We are so back, baby. We are so back. You know, I think it would be fun. 6 months, I know, right? That's about as long as I take in between breaks, you know? Okay, that was an interesting man. Let's just see if that fixed our problems, guys. It might not have. I'm going to run the GeForce again. We're logging into the GeForce. Yeah, so what happened was my computer did not... Okay, upgrade the NVIDIA app. No, I don't want to update the NVIDIA app. Do you want to really... Do you really want to cancel? No. I mean, yes, I guess. Hey, at least we learned something. Yes, we learned that exactly what you said. I was laughing when I saw your chat, Baragon. Because I guess the chat still goes when the stream crashes. I thought that was yes. This is the reason why they don't troubleshoot live streams. Or have troubleshooting live streams. Like, hey guys, I'm gonna troubleshoot my computer right now. You're right, because I feel like when you're troubleshooting stuff, you restart your computer a billion times. That's like the whole thing, right? Like, hey, let's try that and restart it and do this and restart it. I don't know. I can't open up the GeForce experience now. It's telling me to update my app, and I just don't want to update my NVIDIA app because it might ask me to restart my computer again, and that's not fun. In the meantime, learn more about the whatever. Yes, I want to close that. Let's open this. Let's go to our dude, guys. It's just not loading the video at all anymore, I don't think. Let's just close that. Let's start a new one. Call it test. I mean, it's not loading a screen. Do you see that? Let's open up today's stream. And then just the plate will do. Here we go. So we got image. That's fantastic. That's like half the battle right there. By streaming on my phone, yeah. You know, I think a lot of streamers actually do stream on, they have a separate computer for streaming, which I think is very smart. What's the shortcut to make this thing fit? I know there is one. I think it's over here. Yeah, Z. Okay. Let's do color managed. We'll do aces and then put the input color space as your aces CG and then your output color space as Rec 709 is what we want. Hit save. Booyah, baby. All right, we're going to save that and then go into the color tab. We're going to find out if it's drivers. Is it Atom driver? Or is it the application is now frozen. Separate computer. I could barely manage one. I know, I agree. Dude, I think that's another thing I definitely have to do. So this was something I was talking to my coworker about the other day. I haven't like dusted out my computer in a very long time. And there's carpet in my room. So I bet you there's a bunch of gunk in there. So I got to get one of those sprayers and just like blow that thing out. Because I guarantee you that's part of the problem. All right, let's do that. And he's just not even showing me the roto option at all anymore. I know. I am. It's been like about a year and a half, I think, since I've done it. So I have done it. It's just been a while. And I think I can feel it chugging. Not that it is. Maybe it is. It might be. It might be chugging and we just don't know it, guys. Come on. It's just not even like updating right now. Yes, it is. But a computer is not a tech nerd. And I think that is the important distinction here. Guys, we might be just doing water sim stuff today if I can't get this rotor to work. We might be just doing water sim stuff, which is okay. We can jump over to that. I don't think you guys are prepared to see my League of Legends gameplay. I don't think you are prepared to see the Connor Thomas gamer experience. No, sir. Oh my goodness, this is just like unbearable. It's like it's not even showing anything. It's not updating. Like at least last time it was like actually highlighting them. It just wasn't tracking. Oh my gosh. This is the head banging in the wall part of the day. Wow. There we go. Finally did it. Okay, and there we go. Well, if it's anything like your Minecraft run, I think we have a general idea. Wait, have you seen my Minecraft? Wait, when did I do a Minecraft run? Also, I don't think my Minecraft run wasn't bad if I did one. I just want to say that because I'm a pro at Minecraft. Oh, I did do Minecraft once, didn't I? Oh my god. No way. I completely forgot about that. I think I blocked it out of my memory. But it wasn't bad, was it? Years ago, you died after eating tainted meat. Wait, tainted meat? I think that's the thing. I don't know what the new stuff is, right? Like there is I didn't die. There's no way I died. I could play Minecraft hardcore mode and never die. I just want to point that out, and I don't appreciate you thinking that I'm not a good gamer. I am a phenomenal gamer, okay? And I think that's what my mom says. Tainted meat. Is tainted meat the same thing as it's just raw flesh, right? The zombie raw flesh? Maybe I did die. Oh my god. Did I block this out of my memory? I might have. Okay, so we've got the guy on the right the entire time, so let's just focus on him. He's totally cool. Let's take that, and then we will see. We're outputting the raw mat. It's totally fine. We can render that out. I have found I was using the DaVinci Resolve Roto on my work computer this last week, and I was trying to do 2 people at the same time, and I think in the latest version of DaVinci Resolve, they just made it so that it's really frustrating. It would only do one at a time and then would lose the other one after so long. So when you would correct it on the other one, then it would all of a sudden lose the other guy. It's very frustrating stuff. But with that being said, I learned my lesson on that. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this under streams and 10 shots. Let's go ahead and put this under elements. And then I'm going to call this Roto underscore man underscore 01. We'll copy that. Save into that folder. And that's going to be the name of our file as well. I'm going to save these out as... Well, see, it doesn't really matter at all. I mean, we'll render them out as EXRs. No, it's fine. We'll render them out as JPEGs. It really doesn't matter at all. Because these are like pretty low quality rotos anyways. I wouldn't recommend this is how I would tell anyone to do this for like a thing. But because we're already going to be blending everything so much, I'm not too concerned about it. But definitely don't do this. All right, we're going to do add to render queue, and then we're going to do render all. So then it's going to render out the black and white, which I'm not even trying to make it look good, mind you, because I just know it's... well, I don't know. We've had so much issues with the Roto tool so far. So let's take this, and then we're going to do clear, 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 clear. And then let's grab this guy. Wow, this is going so much faster. It's ridiculous. And that's totally fine. We're mostly just focused on this guy. If you hit the better option, it should look quote unquote better. Yeah, keying would be very hard on this because the water could have a little bit of green in it, but yeah. Well, it is definitely easy. Have you guys messed around with the corridor key? I feel like everyone on YouTube's talking about it. If you guys haven't tested that out, then like you've been living under a rock of some kind. All right, let's try this. We're going to track that forward. Yeah, I mean, so I feel like anytime you use the test green screen footage that's available on the internet, it's not like real world experience. I don't know if there's ever been a movie that I've worked on where I was given a good... Actually, I don't think there has been a single movie that I've worked on, and I think I've worked on over 50 movies doing VFX. I don't think there's been a single movie I've ever worked on with a good green screen. Like, not once. Not once. I've had to basically, uh, I've had to basically do all that stuff myself. Like really, it's every key I've ever had where I've been like, this is not ideal. You tried it out. It's pretty good. You just suck at compositing. What? Green screen keying? Oh, the corridor key. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the corridor key. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's pretty automated. And even now, like, there's better versions of it. I tried it like literally like the first or second day. Definitely impressive stuff. I think the better button was definitely better to click. Uh-oh. He's starting to go in and out. Like he's phasing. It's fine. We can just boost the whites on the roto. I'm glad that we got the rotos things fixed. Satya, appreciate you and your. It wasn't a trick, was it? Now. All right, he should be phasing out like right around here. Let's see. What we want to do is clean the white, or is it not clean white? White clip. That's what it is. Probably to about right there. Let's just preview this. That looks fine. We're vibing. Yeah, thanks for crashing the stream, Saya. Much appreciated. All right, that looks really good. Okay, so we're going to save that, and then we will go on output this. DaVinci plugin, I think they expanded it to be compatible for blue screen as well, but I think it's still early days for that. You know, and it's really funny is I think what's interesting, I've been a supervisor on many sets, and I find it quite hilarious the amount of times people want to use green screen because they think green screen's better. And there is actually a reason why you choose between blue and green screen. Like it's not completely random of like, oh, well, we have a green screen available, so that's why we're using a green screen. It's like, no, you use green screen for very specific situations. You use blue screen for other very specific situations. For instance, if you're on a low budget film, you don't have a lot of lights, so you know you're not going to be able to light the background very evenly, and it's going to be low lit because it's basically just going to be spill light, blah, 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 all this crap. Well, you don't use a green screen, okay? Blue screen is better in low light situations because the difference between the colors of the blue is it more acceptable in low light, whereas darker greens blend with shadows. So of course you're not going to want that, right? I mean, come on. This is all just basic understanding of how color theory works. Okay, we are definitely not mocha-ing this. All right, now I'm going to go in here and we are going to import our two Roto masks that we have. We've got Roto Man number 1, and then we've got Roto Man number 2. Select both those guys and import them. I'm also going to throw a keyer node on this and then swap the import to output 709. So that way this, actually, it should be fine with mask. Yeah, it's totally fine. So now if we go here, booyah, you've got your alpha completely set. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. And then if we just merge the two of these together, now you've got both of them. Shocker, DaVinci Resolve couldn't do it, but Nuke could. So now we've got ourselves our masks, and way to check this without them looking like white blobs here is since we used the keyer node, and which, by the way, I mean, there's another way we could have done this without using two keyer nodes. You can basically use your merge node and then do the plus functionality on this. And then we can then do clipping, I believe, is what we can literally just, let's do grade node, and then we can do a white clamp, and then that makes it so that this value is there, and then booyah, we just throw another keyer node in here, and now you've got that. So now you're running one keyer node with your grade node. I wonder if there's a better way than plus. I think we could do the same results with screen. Yeah, that gives us all the same results. So if you just use a screen merge node here with your two different rotomasks that we imported, we could merge them together and then use one luminance key to basically differentiate the two of those. Now, if we use a merge node with this merge node with the B input plugged into our main piece of footage that we have here, firstly, it will overlay everything because that's what our merge node says that we are doing, is putting the alpha over that. But instead, we want to swap this over here to mask. And now we've got ourselves our dudes. The other thing we want to make sure of is that this is all running at the correct frame range. So I'm going to do start at 1000 on that node and another start at 1000 on that node, which I should have done in the settings inside of DaVinci Resolve, but it's fine. Even I make mistakes. Maybe we should get more pink screens. Why, you like the pink screens? Oh, you're talking about blue screens versus... Well, okay. So here's the thing. So blue is really good in other things. Now, I have found anyways with green screen keying that it's really interesting. I don't think DPs know how to light. I was having a conversation with my DP about my upcoming film. And we were talking about monsters because I'm shooting a monster in one of my films. And I really haven't talked much about this project with you guys yet, but it's really, really exciting stuff. We are actually building the prosthetics for this monster. The great Jared Morantz is working on it. He's worked on some amazing films in the DC universe as well as Marvel films. He's a huge creature designer. Definitely recommend looking him up on Instagram. Go follow him. But he designed the creature, and then we're working with a prosthetics makeup guy who's building the prosthetics from scratch. And then we hired Trevor Newland, who plays the xenomorph in Alien Romulus. And he is going to be our dude wearing the suit, okay? Now, this is very, very different from what I did on my last film that you guys all saw, Bad Omen. That one, we had a CG creature that we didn't film on the set. It was obviously CG, so I did all of that stuff later. We did motion capture recording days, and then I had a photo scan of the whole environment, and then all those shots were kind of like full CG shots, actually. On this new film, we are filming with the prosthetics, and I was having this conversation with the DP that I hired. And I'm like, I always find it very interesting with CG that DPs, it's not that interesting, I guess. They don't know how to light for something they can't see. So, if you're trying to do everything in VFX, then it's really hard. So with green screen, blue screens, things like that, you can't light your actors with you imagining, oh, okay, I need a green screen behind them, but really it's going to be this really dark background. So then let's light our actor to be dark with the lighting and the rim lighting and everything like that. It's a lot harder to create that connection in your brain. So they do have on set, you can do live compositing where you have green screen keying that's happening kind of live, and it's really kind of cool stuff. You can do that. That is definitely a method. But when you're working on indie films, that's not really an option. So what I have actually found to be more useful on some of the projects I've worked on is I will tell production, they'll be like, oh, we're going to set up a green screen. I'm like, no. Put like we did this on that horror film. In the intro for my live stream, I have the shots of the when they're in like that void-like gem world. That I had them put just this black duvetine up, and we filmed the actors in front of a black duvetine, which was not a green screen, it was black duvetine. And why did we do that? Well, it was so that the DP did not have to imagine what a dark background would look like. They're just lighting for it with a dark background. And then we went through and just rotoed every single shot, every hair, everything. Because truthfully, if they set up a green screen, we would have to do more work on the relighting than we would have just by saving that time with the keying. So sometimes it is like, you got to understand what team you're working with and what benefits there are to different things. And that's what I found with that anyways. Sorry, that was a very long-winded way of saying there are reasons why you do certain things certain ways. And sometimes it's to save yourself the headache later because it's just going to be more of a headache to do something that way. Connor getting into the big leagues. Yeah, I'm really excited about these couple films that we're shooting here, guys. I'm like really, really excited. Should check out the IMDb's of them. They're over on IMDb, and I've been updating those two projects as we've been bringing people onto the projects. So I like casting and all of that stuff. You guys can check out some of those actors that have already been cast in the projects. Really super excited about that stuff. Also on this one, we are trying to film so much more behind the scenes stuff. So again, that is just like a work in progress. I have a couple friends that I'm flying out, and they're going to be part of the shooting process on it. And we're going to shoot a lot more BTS kind of stuff that I really wish I had on my last film, but unfortunately it was what it was. So I only have really a few stills of working on Bad Omen, and I want it so much more. So this will be that. I'm really, really, really excited about all of this. The film name, the two film names, I'll write them both down for you. One is called Darkness Follows, and then the other one is called Splinters, and you can check them out both on IMDb. Award-winning director Connor Thomas confirms he is filming BTS music video. Hey, that would be cool. You guys should go to Instagram account of BTS and just like spam my name and be like, hire this guy. What was it? One of you guys? I can't remember who it was. Someone did that with Blumhouse once. They sent a message to Blumhouse saying, work with this guy. Thought was so funny. All right. Very rough garbage mask roto here. Which, by the way, I probably should set this to the 1920 by 1080. Okay, and then his leg a little bit more. Just make sure these keyframes worked out. Yep, see, this is why we check this stuff. Monster's not going to be directly behind them anyways. It's mostly... Yeah, this worked out really well actually for a quick roto. See, this is why the DaVinci Resolve roto method is nuts, guys. I think it's insane how you can just like get these quick rotos. So even on jobs, like big jobs where we're like, oh, we need, whatever roto, and it's got to be really high quality. I still use DaVinci Resolve just to give me that temp roto. Like, hey, I just want a first pass. It's like, this is good enough for a first pass. You can get like client notes back on animation and things like that. That's what I use the DaVinci Resolve one for. And then I go through and then I will hire roto artists to come on and do like really high quality ones that get like all the hairs and everything like that. And that's what we use for the actual film. But, from just a quick review perspective of seeing like a monster behind someone, this is more than adequate. Oh, thank you so much, Saya. Garbage mask. That means it's beautiful in its own unique way. It is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Glad you can appreciate my garbage masks, Saya. I'm sorry, Baragon Productions. Let's just do that. What's cool is the water is all kind of getting I don't think we're not going to see terribly too much overlap, honestly, on this. So we will probably be fine. Okay, and then my goal now with this roto is, so there's some water splashes that we're going to want to get and put those water splashes back in. Although, to be completely honest, I don't think we're really missing those splashes. We might want them, but I'm wondering if it's too much work to keep the original water rather than just putting new water in. Okay, so next up, what I'm going to do real quick, we'll open up Blender and then let's render out a Playbash version of the monster. And then drop the monster in just to see what it looks like in the world. It's obviously not going to be rendered with the lighting and all that stuff, but it will give us an idea of what kind of effects and other water we might need. So let's turn off, let's see, where are these? What are these guys? Spheres. This probably should go, what is this? What is that's ground reference? Let's create a new collection called ref_lighting. I think this should just be called ground. I don't know why this is called ref. But we put that in there. Yes, there are definitely splash action VFX, and we are definitely using those splashes. Because that's why I wanted to watch it over black, because do we miss those splashes? Does it look like water's going into nothing? I mean, maybe if we really pixel peep it, but we could also not pixel peep it. I don't know. We'll check it out. We'll see if there's really any water that we're really losing. Because realistically, there is quite a bit of water that's getting splashed up. I don't know, because like he's kicking up water and it's going over here. That water, this water. Like, do we miss this at all? Or are we not seeing it at all because it's always behind them? It's their hands going behind them that are causing those splashes. So when you watch this version right here, I don't think you really miss any of that. We can add more splashes in ourselves anyways. So I don't know. I don't think we're missing it. All right. So what I'm going to do is we'll take this ground reference right now and we'll just turn it off. Let's also, so we've got our monster here and I might just hide that. And actually swap this over to Eevee real quick instead of cycles. And then our ground, let's bring our ground back in. But then let's go and make sure that holdout is on. I'm going to turn holdout on right now. This actually might work. And so then this should just give us our monster over alpha. Where is he though? Oh, wait, no, it's compiling the Eevee render engine. Sorry. First time inside of Eevee. So, okay, great. So then that gives us the with the reflection. And so then if we turn on that, there we go. So now we've got just the creature, which is fantastic. So we can render out just the creature, which would have been under that water. Now that water is not animated right now. He's kind of just like moving around there and like we're using it as a mask option. And I guess I'm covering the buttons up here, but let me show you that again real quick. So this is an option you can turn on. It's called holdout. And then I just turned on the layer ground to be a holdout, and that creates the alpha of our dude. Let's set the output folder now to be, yeah, it's not gonna be any of those folders. It's fine. Go to drive D, projects, and live stream. Oh, date modified. That's the one I want. I was like, why is that? What is going on here? Let's do the 3D out if we can, please. There we go. And I'm going to call this Playbash. And let's create a folder in here called version 1, because we might do multiple versions. And we'll call this render underscore just for a simple name. All right. Next up, we'll do OpenEXR multi-layers, turn off overwrite. So that way we don't accidentally hurt ourselves later. And then I don't think we really need anything else turned on. Should be good. I'm just going to do a real quick render. So we'll do view render animation. And this is going to do what's called a playbash, which is just a screen output. Making the teeth and spikes sharper was such a good call. Thank you. A little distant just makes the little silhouette more visible. Absolutely. Absolutely. Although I don't think I did it terribly much. I just made the teeth sharper. I don't think I made all the spikes on his back sharper. I made his teeth sharper. Okay, so now we're going to go to our folder over here, and then we're going to do 3D out. Let's go ahead and select our Playbash version 1, and then that's going to import here. Now we're going to need to use a shuffle node inside of Nuke because we did multi-layer EXRs. Now here's an interesting thing. We have our, it's just going to show a black screen. You're going to see that it says composite combined. And then that gives you the output. I'm not quite sure why Blender does that. I wonder if there's a setting I could change in the preferences. But in order for us to get that, it's really simple. You just drop a shuffle node in and then swap your RGBAs from your composite combined over into your RGBA channel inside of the Nuke. And then voila, now you've got that. I'm going to go and put myself on the bottom so that way I'm not in the way. Then this goes behind our guys. So we'll do that. So we should have these guys in here, or the monster in here, and then we put them in front. Oh, whoops. That's hilarious. This goes, this probably should be over here. This goes in front of our dudes at first. We just layer that in on top, and then we add another merge node that goes right there. I'm probably going to want my auto alpha to be enabled. And then that gives us some layers. So we just drop those guys in front. And then now you've got yourself some really nice. This is good enough for your YouTube video quality, guys. Yeah, it's probably in the color space settings. I don't know. I'll have to, it's one of those things that I just auto do now with the shuffle node that I don't even think about. That probably would be nice if I didn't have to think about at all because it was just done correctly. Okay, I'm going to add in a motion blur node, I think. And, set that to 0.5 with 10 samples. And then that's good. Then let's go after this mask node here and we'll do edge extend. That's going to get just our people now. Oh, you're right. It's not stabilized. So we should drop the stabilization in. Actually, no, we don't want the stabilization. Sorry. We want the match move. So we'll select our tracker node next. Thanks for calling that out. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Let's drop the match move in, hit create, and then put that right after our creature now. So our creature should now be moving with everything, and it is. That's so much better. You're right, because without it, it was very... It's funny because it's such a small difference, but it makes such a big difference also. So that is good. Then that gets dropped in, and then voila, we got ourselves our guys. Now I used the motion blur tool because the roto was giving a hard edge. So creating this will allow it to be a little better for the motion here. I will say that's a problem. That might not be a good idea then. I mean, it's looking pretty nice actually. And then with the luminance and then putting that into the edge extend, I think our only problem is these little hangers there. So we don't want that. I guess the other thing we could do is cap off. Yeah, there we go. That's the way to do it. So then when we get down to the edge extend, we don't have that. So we're just taking the luminance and then just pulling that back a little bit. We want our vector detail to maybe be higher. No, I think we're fine with the vector detail where it's at. But increasing this motion blur will give us a nicer looking blur. Because otherwise, the lower this is, like if this is just set to like 5 or something like that, you can very much see like all the jaggedy edges. So we'll just turn that up to 100, and then that'll give us a really nice blur. That edge extend is doing a lot of heavy lifting for us because we had that lighter blue background. This is why, like, this is kind of like the point I was making about how green screens are hard to light and stuff like that, is because if you have that lighter background when you're having a darker object behind it, you need to do a lot more edge extensions and things like that in order to compensate for it. It's all part of comping, but that is just something to keep in mind. There we go. So now we've got our dudes in front of our monster. So let's just play that back, see what that looks like. Yeah, a little bit of green spill. It's the blurring of the edges, because the way green screens work is, or the way keying works, is that it looks at every individual pixel and then it goes, is this green or is it not? But the problem that you have when you have motion blur or you have hair or something like that is that one pixel is going to be multiple values. And so the blending between the two of them becomes really challenging at that point. So then you have to fake it, where like in our case right now, we are extending outwards from our actors to create more of them, which is creating that. And then we're blurring that back. Now, I think I might have to turn, let's see, he does go like slightly invisible there for a moment. That's really interesting. So that's something to keep in mind. It's also so much motion blur. This is not good. Oh, that's right, because we turned that up. So we got to turn that back down. We had it turned up to like a 1. So let's turn that back down to a 0.5 for the shutter time. That was like a lot of motion blur for something that wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah. So, I mean, it's already kind of like in the world where you could show this to a client and be like, hey, is this in the right direction? Then it might be like, oh, maybe adjust this arm animation, or I don't like this or that. And like they can give creative notes, I would say, depending on the client, because truthfully, not every client will look at this and be able to like, because some people might freak out. I've worked with directors, and when showing them something, if it's just not perfect, like they don't know what a V1 is. If it's not perfect, they will be like, I'm really concerned right now. And then they'll not even tell you that. They'll just literally, they'll not tell you. They'll just be like, oh, okay, we're going to try to change the edit or whatever the crap because we're concerned. And it's like, you don't have to be concerned. It's not done yet. you've got to like look like you basically have to. Okay, we want blade it. Let's do that. You basically have to, when you receive something, and I think I saw this was advice from a great podcast that I love to listen to. Is called Lighter Darker. It's a podcast on YouTube created by Industrial Light and Magic. And on that podcast, they talk in one of the podcast episodes about what to do when you're sitting inside of a daily session, which a daily session is where you give your VFX shots to the soups and like the head creatives, and like they're giving you feedback and notes back. One thing to do when you're walking into that room and you're showing them your shot is first tell them, this is a note that you gave me last time. This is what I fixed. And this is what I'm working on. And then that way they can skip past all of the stuff that you otherwise is just repeating a note. And they're essentially just jumping in with giving you the correct, like a good feedback going forward on what you need to be working on. I think that's like such a cool thing to think about when you're approaching that, because I mean, I always thought it's kind of funny. You're like, oh man, I just don't want to tell anyone anything because, you know, I would rather them just tell me it's great, you know, but that's not going to happen. So it's good to just be upfront with them about it. And so that way they know what they previously gave you a note on, and what you are currently working on, just to see if what their other notes going forward would be. Okay, a little bit of focus change here, I think, is going to do us a good bit. ILM's own podcast, some of their stuff looks interesting. I should check it out. Absolutely. Love their podcast. I always think it would be cool to work with a director that understands VFX like James Cameron or Gareth Edwards. Yeah, and actually they did talk about that in one of the podcast episodes. Definitely recommend checking out their podcast. Like because you know they work on some of the biggest freaking movies in the world. So it's just cool to see how they approach things and why they do certain things, and then what they talk about within that. Okay, well, actually, let's do the motion blur before we defocus. I'm also not going to render the motion blur, I think, out of Blender. I might. I don't know. I haven't really super decided yet. Hey, Matthias, how you doing? Yeah, we're going to have to do the water sim for like when he lifts his nostril up. I feel like we're going to need some drippies. I feel like a lot of this stuff can be comped though. So that's why I kind of wanted to today not focus on any of the water sim stuff. I really just wanted to get the character in here. You know, even an Eevee render looks pretty solid. Like, guys, as a Playbash Eevee render, like this actually doesn't look terrible. Let's look at some water, guys. I don't know. So we have... just open up a Chrome, I think. Sign into my Action VFX account, guys. Oh, what's so today is Norway's National Day. What is a national day? Okay, so I do have like water hits. I've got some water foam. So what do I got? I'll show you guys the things. So I've got some water foam, but I think this might be all top down. Yeah, it is. I needed this for a big shot, and can't wait to show you guys that shot. Here's some water essential stuff. We could maybe do that. Volume 1 and Volume 2. Might be able to take portions of this and piecing it together. Well, congratulations, Matthias, as well as all of Norway. Yeah, I guess our day for that is July 4th, Independence Day. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to use all this, like, different ones. We don't really have any, like, forward-facing waves, I guess, is really the thing I don't think we have. Well, we could take any of these. Let's see. Which one do we like? So he kind of comes up. Does he do any big, like, push-ups? Boom. I'm thinking... we want a nice... They've got, like, one big water blast in here. Oh, these are related. I don't think I own any of these. Wow. It's a big boy water blast. I don't think we need anything that big. You know what I'm really looking for? Let's see. Let's go to... Okay, maybe not my downloads. Let's do 2D elements. Let's find water. Let's just see what they got. Oh, here we go. The splashes. So those are blasts. Let's see. That's large water surface bubbles. Maybe I'll take a look at those. Oh, these might be just bubbles, though. Yeah, it's just bubbling. And I want more like, those are sound effects. I didn't even know Action VFX had sound effects. I like these splashes, though. Somewhere like top down. I think it's the same splash from different angles. I really like this one. I might just buy it. I have to use these credits, by the way, by like the end of the month because I think they're expiring and I'm not going to have them anymore. National Guns Out Monster Truck Golden Eagle Day. Hey, how did you know that was the official name for it? Wait a second. Wait a second. Just buy one of these, I think. Buy for 1 credit. Confirm purchase. Download it. We're going to make use of 1 splash. We're going to make use of 1 splash here, guys. How'd you know that was the official name for Independence Day? Who told you that? All right, live stream. Let's download it to my... I wish I just would do it. I wish my computer would just read my mind and be like, yes, I understand that you are downloading an asset specifically for this shot. When they first started it, I guess they thought the name was too long. You were there when they first started it? Wait, you were here in 1776? What are you talking about? All right. So then that we can place in, and I'm gonna put all of our people things way lower, and let's just start comping in some water. Well, hello, Azan. Welcome in. It's weird that the water it looks like a mask almost. Like it doesn't look. Oh, you and George Washington go way back. The big G man. Hey, that's actually pretty sweet right there. I bet you I can make this one water splash work for everything I need it to work for. Why is it in slow-mo, though? You guys notice that? What the crap? Let's throw an O-flow on here. Put this at the 1.5x. Let's just check this out. Still not quite fast enough. Let's try this at 2x speed. Feel like it's still slow. Does that not look slow to you guys? 4x speed that crap. Oh yeah, 4x speed looks good. Well, I'm definitely not crap at doing compositing, Baragon. So 4x looks good though. So yeah, I guess just speed that up by maybe it's like 3.5 or 3 or something like that, but like 4 looks fine with the way the water's dropping. So I'm pretty cool with that one. So let's we got the offset in here. Let's see. Now, let's just transform that over there and voila, you should get yourself some water splashies if you want it. I would probably say let's offset this not by 999, let's do 990 because I want the water already kind of coming up. Secondly, I'm looking at this water here, guys, and it just doesn't look right. I don't know what color space this is supposed to be, but it doesn't look correct. That looks better. Did they give us ACES CG? I didn't even check. That looks a lot better. So we're going to keep ACES CG as our thing. And then let's see. We're going to put the water in there. Is it ACES CG? I need to check this because that's not... It's weird. I don't appreciate how weird it looks. It doesn't look right. Let's see. It says resolution. Okay, I got that. Format. Yes, I got that. Oh, so it's red footage. Maybe that's what it is? Camera red weapon. Color space. Dragon color 2 or red gamma. So input red Dragon Color 2. Oh, that looks a lot better. Okay, great. So then now we've got that. Hey, bro, I need your advice on something really important for your future. You're 13 right now, but your dream is to launch a massive VFX studio one day, like ILM or Weta. Looking for a unique, heavy company name that stands out globally, but you're stuck. Well, I don't think the company name is the most important part. Do you have any cool name suggestions? Well, I don't think that name is the most important part of what makes Weta Weta or ILM. I think it's because they were, instrumental in how they revolutionized the VFX industry. But yeah, names are hard, man. You know what's funny? I've tried using like ChatGPT to give me names and whatnot for for stuff. It's the worst at giving names. Oh man. Yeah, well, Weta is actually the name of an insect. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's a little bug, which is why the logo is a bug as well. It's an insect that is from that area actually. It's like an insect that lives in New Zealand. And Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, is also a bit of a silly name if you think about it, because why would that's just a weird name. It's a weird name. But because I feel like it's been said so many times, it's not so weird. You know what's also a weird name is like Disney. I think Disney is a weird name. I think you need that. There we go. All right. What am I doing here? Let's just do that. I'm just going to grade it to be how I want it to be, okay? I think that's what I'm just going to do. So let's put this over on the actual water before we do all the O-flow crap. And we'll find a good splash, and then I'm going to disable this for a moment, and let's set the white point to here. So that's our white, okay? So that's going to make everything brighter. They were good at water sims. Well, I mean, dude, they didn't do water sims till recently. Did you know what VFX company invented water sims? It wasn't Weta. You know what company is actually known for water sims in the film industry? Is a company called Scanline VFX. Good old Scanline VFX. I don't even know if Scanline's around still, but they were the #1 company in the film industry for doing water simulation back in the day. And yeah. Okay, that looks about right. You're using an AI because your English isn't great, but man, I really need some name suggestions. You're so stressed out. I don't know. Anyone in chat got good name suggestions? Yeah, AI does give useless names. 100%. It does. AI is the dumbest thing at coming up with names. That's like, hey, if there was one thing I wish that AI was really good at, it would be that. All right, we're going to just merge this on one merge node here and then use 1D focus, because that way we can have the splashing happen at the same level the monster is kind of happening at. There we go. So now we've got ourselves some water splashies. And we're going to need a couple things from our monster here. The snout needs to go in front of the water. Oh, we'll also need the match move to be applied afterwards. This isn't going to be the only water splashy, so it's good that we are merging these here now. I'm going to move this up as well. Wasn't it a kids movie that was responsible for like the very first water sim for an animated movie? I don't actually know. You might be right on that. I do know the first one that was like kind of note was The Abyss, which is definitely not a kids movie. But you might be right on like the first water sim. I can't remember which one. Something to do with ants. Oh, really? Well, I don't know about that. Will I be your friend? I don't know if I can be your friend. I'm sorry. I am unfortunately a YouTuber online. But we do have a Discord, so if you join the Discord, you can share stuff you work on, and I'm sure everyone in this stream, as well as myself, would love to see everything you're doing as you're working on stuff. I'm not going to feed into the parasocial relationship that some streamers do, which I think is unfortunate because they take advantage of people watching them. Okay, so that water splash I think works really well. Let's play that back now. I never watched the film either, actually. Oh, that water looks so good, guys. Using real water for this is like a real cheat code, I'll tell you that. I think we could even also use different O flows. Wait, what? Please let me know your thoughts or maybe suggest a few other names that match the massive. Hey, I mean, there's so many good names. So many good company names that, you know, already have companies, obviously. But let's see. There's Scanline. There's a Double Negative. Which so Double Negative. You think about all the VFX house names are just names that are like the actual process of doing something, right? So wait, is there not a second splash? I was really hoping there was at least one more splash in this. I guess it's just the water sitting there, isn't it? Frame Store. Yep, Frame Store. I did think I don't think there is a company that does this, but if I were to have a VFX house name suggestion, this was one that I thought of and I thought it was kind of cool. The website URL is not available, obviously, but there's another there's like if you did like Node VFX, I think would be really cool. Well, Frame Store is not a number one name. I mean, it is a number one like VFX house in the industry. I would argue it's one of the biggest visual effects houses in the industry right now. Let's flop this guy. Okay, we'll do two different. So wait, this transform node will do a -1 flop on this. Yeah, rhythm and hues. Yeah, very sad. Although, aren't they still around or did they get put under again? I feel like they came back and they did like they worked on Game of Thrones and stuff. Maybe they went under again. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't of course really follow a lot of that stuff. So there we go. That's like a splash right there. Flux effects for your name company. Do you think it has the heavy, impactful vibe like Weta or ILM? I mean, yeah, it's a cool name. I'll be honest though, it's not the name that makes a company like a big, impactful company. I think you're thinking about it from the wrong perspective. The name isn't what makes a company great. What they do and what they accomplish does, and that's the thing that you need to be more focused on. And I know that's not really what you want to hear, but like that is like way more important. I'm gonna try to line that up with him like coming down on the one side. So that first one you can think is like right before the shot starts, and then it comes down. So like I have a VFX house name that I have. So my company is called Dead Cow VFX. But you know, it doesn't like it's not going to be it's not the name that matters. And I work on decently sized stuff. I think that's a little too early. The splash happens a little too early. Let's try to firstly, actually, also let's use a different O flow. I actually think this might be not a bad idea. We're gonna use a different O flow, and let's change this O flow to be a 2. So it's gonna go half speed. And right here, I would say, is when the next one should be blasting. And then once we start to add in the CG water as well, it's going to be like everything's just going to come together. It's going to be really nice. I almost think his nostril coming up should like have like a mini splash of some kind. Some little like poof of some kind. It's just not feeling right. It's just not feeling right. I think it should be more like right there. And then I think his nostril should cover a decent amount of this. So like all of this water right here, let's just use a stencil or something. So we'll go look at this guy. And let's just roto this out. I don't really have a depth map or anything like that, so we'll just do this. Yeah, one name I always thought was like, you know, it's kind of interesting because it's such a good freaking name, guys. Walt Disney is the most like movie studio naming name, but I don't know if it's because I grew up with the name Walt Studio as like a household name that it feels like a movie studio name because it was a movie studio name in my little tiny Connor brain before it was, you know, a name of a person that I realized once I was older. It's so interesting. But like I don't imagine in my head at all like a name like Connor Thomas doesn't sound like a movie studio name. It just sounds like me. But like, you know, it's different names, like it's so funny. At times like these, you ask yourselves, what would Gore Verbinski of Pirates of the Caribbean fame do? I don't know. It's a good question. I never asked myself that, though now I do ask myself that. And I think that's going to be a daily habit of asking myself, what would Gore Verbinski do? Here, why don't I do this? I'm going to use this roto shape here. I know I don't want to cut out like under his, where he actually is, but I think I'm going to merge his actual alpha with this as well. So let's see. Let's kind of line this up a little bit better here. Okay. So now if I take his actual alpha, I just might put this on this side just so it's a little easier. We have the B plugged into this roto here, but then we take the A of the alpha of him, and then we use this as a mask. So now if we go look at this alpha, it will have that chopped out instead of being the entire roto shape. And so then now we're going to use that as our stencil on the water splashes. So when we have all the splashes kind of happening, and I'll just set this to global here. When we have all the splashes happening, we are not having them go in front of where his head is. Roto shape VFX. So I don't mean to be negative either, though. I'm just going to be very honest with you, Azan. Okay, if you're still in the chat, or Azan, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. I don't think there's ever going to be another massive VFX company. I just don't see it happening. I think with how AI is changing the whole industry, I think there will be other companies that are going to be boutiques, like small, like my company. I think there's going to be more of those kinds of companies. I really just don't see massive companies existing anymore because there's no reason to, with how AI has changed the film industry and everything. It will make it very hard for those kinds of companies to compete. Those big tentpole companies. What resolution am I working at? I'm working in HD. I'm not doing 4K for these shots. Yeah, so I'm not using proxies or anything. Everything's just HD. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, I like this shape now that's kind of like coming up around his jaw here. Let's take that and blur it a little bit. And I think we're golden, guys. Like, that's really nice. And then I'm going to need this water to not float because right now I think that's floating overall. It is. Although, to be fair, we don't really know what the water line is yet, so maybe I'm not going to focus terribly too hard on that. We should have a pretty decent water splash thing going. I love this first splash. I think this first splash is great. And his hand coming out here, though, I really want more, I guess. Oh, yeah, it's a lot better, guys. It's too slow, though, but it's a lot better. So we're not going to use the new O-flow. It's just, you can tell that the water slowness is not correct. So we're going to do that. We're going to use the O-flow here. Oh, let's see if it lines up. Nuke nodes are like, it's fun, dude. I love doing stuff in Nuke so much more than I ever did in After Effects. Like, it's so much fun. And I had a friend that I was talking with the other day who was using Fusion, and I'm like, dude, get out of that program. It is so clunky. I cannot not. Oh yeah, dude, that's looking so much better. Okay, so now the water drips from his mouth. I wonder if we can do that in comp, or is this something that we're going to need? So one thing I did, I mean, this was just stuff that I realized when I was doing Bad Omen, is that you don't have to sim very much stuff. Like you could actually use quite a bit of assets for a lot of these things. So on the Bad Omen, he had like all this like flam and stuff like that hanging from his teeth. Um, that you don't need to have it in 3D. Like you can actually do this stuff in 2D. I really want to learn some advanced VFX techniques like how to composite a human riding on top of a dragon with ultra realistic Hollywood level quality, just like in the House of the Dragon. Dude, it's all one step at a time. You don't need to start on the dragon. Start learning the basics first. Like figure out how to put, a sphere or a cube inside of a scene and make it look lit properly. And then you understand lighting. So now you can do a dragon because you understand how lighting works. And it's all just working your way up. Just do little things at first. Then you want a person riding the dragon? Great. Learn how to make a person that you film in a green screen look like it is inside of an environment. Like this is all like very advanced stuff. Like break it down to the basics. Every VFX shot is just simple, basic things. See so many uses in Blender now. You're a Maya user, but thinking about switching to Blender. Use Blender, brother. Blender's better than Maya. I will say that. Houdini's better than Blender for sim. Blender's better than Maya for animation. And ZBrush is better than Blender for sculpting. Okay? So there are but I would say Blender has officially become the better software for animation. You'll get a long way by doing basic things in comp or hanging the basic stuff. Wait, sorry, I misread that. You will get a long way just doing the basic. Most things we do in comp are hang the basic stuff. Exactly. Yes, do the basic stuff. If you learn keying, you learn lighting, you learn tracking, you learn all of these things, very basic stuff. Then you will become better at doing the dragons and all of those monsters. But you can't do the monsters until you really learn everything else. I mean, also just watch my live streams and you'll pick up the stuff as well. I mean, I'm stumbling my way through stuff as well, You're a big fan of... Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Really like you and your work. Are you planning on creating community or Discord server? There is a Discord. Link is in the description. So go join the Discord. Discord link is in the description. Guys, that water looks good. I like it. It's amazing. I want some water drips here. So anyways, I got distracted. I do have my Bad Omen VFX materials still. I have not deleted them. And with this, I might actually have some drips or something that we can use. Well, I haven't gotten a ZBrush description yet either, so I guess I can't be the one to convince you of it. I do want to get a ZBrush a subscription. Ooh, that is some wet water liquid, dude. Look at that. I might actually, if I stack these, I might be able to get exactly what I want. Yeah, I remember these, dude. So I use these all for like all the werewolf shots of all the liquid and saliva and everything coming out of his mouth. I just did this. I didn't know how to do this before, mind you. Like I learned so much on doing Bad Omen. This trick saved my life. Yeah, I was trying to do this stuff in CG before. I was like, how do they get those really good looking drips coming out of the monster mouths? Bet you guys have seen this one. I literally used this so many times in Bad Omen. Oh, it's so funny. The memories. Just looking through these. I haven't really looked at these since. Oh, it's just they're too like individual. I wish I had some big water drops or something like that. That would be nice. For being good at Blender, I need to donut now to Do the donut. Oh, you gotta do the donut now. You're not an animator, but you think Blender will be a nice way to make some CG stuff, and the power of CG will be done in comp. Absolutely, dude. Get into it. Also, the more you know about how CG works, the better as a compositor I think you will become. That is at least what I believe to be true about me, is that the more I got into it, the better I think I got at it. Because you understand what you can push and what you can't and all that. What's hilarious, though, is when I first started, I would make my renders look better inside of comp, which is why I was able to make my stuff look not terrible. But I do think like what's really funny is like I've gotten better at making my stuff just look good in Blender directly. I think I might use this one. It looks a little weird, but I might use it. No, I didn't film these. I purchased these. I think I got these from... I actually don't know where I got these. There's a little slimy surface right here. I think these were maybe from... Oh, you know what it was? Film Riot. They have a website that you can buy assets from. Very cheap, mind you. Like, not expensive at all. I bought these from there. I might just be using some drips, I think. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. Let's look at some more of these guys. So maybe no more big splashes. We don't need splashes. What we need is almost like a cup dropping water. That's almost what we need. Oh, whoops. How did I get into Blender? A good question. Unfortunately, it's not a good answer, I guess. I've been using Blender since I was like 7 years old. I started doing game design, and back in the day, Blender like 2.13 or something like that. I forget what version it was, but it was, we looked at it once. I figured out exactly what version it was that I started on. Anyways, on one of those versions, it had a game engine built inside of it. So I really learned Blender because the other options back in the day, I don't remember Unreal Engine. I think it was one of the options, but Unity and maybe Unreal as well, because I remember there were two. They were very expensive. Unity was the only free game engine that you could actually use at the time. And you could only use it if you were making less than a certain amount of money per year. So obviously, I was a kid, so I wasn't making any money. But Unity was a lot harder because you needed to know how to code. Blender did have a game engine in it. And I don't know if any of you guys remember the game engine, but you could, it was like blocks. Like you could literally connect like logic bricks and whatnot. And then it also had Python. And so I got into learning coding Python because Python is a lot easier to learn to code in than C#, which is what Unity was basically. So I really got into it from a game design perspective because I really loved game design. And then from there, I just kept going, you know? Does the computer, I feel like a lot of people say this, and I'm going to say it too. I know it's like the cringy thing that every YouTuber says, but Ozan, let me tell you this right now. Oh, dude, Scratch. I was big on Scratch. I loved Scratch. But it was 2D, and I wanted to do 3D games, so. These are cool. I like these, but Azan, let me tell you this right now. The computer is not what is going to make your VFX good. It is, you can make good VFX on not a good computer. Just wanna say that. I know that everyone always freaking that's like the thing that everyone says and whatever, but it's true. And I need to say it at least. The first ever company that delivers this level of world-class VFX. Hollywood recommend that match that Weta or vision is big, man. Seriously huge. No, I mean, great. It's good to have a big vision. So I could download any of these for free. I might use some of these for... They're just too big of splashes. I don't want them to be that big. They're so big. I don't need the splashes this big, guys. Maybe this one. Let's try it. Let's try it. Got my 1 of 30 downloads for the day because it's an Action VFX Essential, which makes it so that it's not expensive. All right. To make a more personal selection. Yeah, I need my own special selection. Well, I mean, I actually know the guys over at Action VFX. I could probably just literally get them. I was talking to them actually a little bit about this live streams at NAB this last year. Okay, so what I want, so this is angled, but that's fine. I'm going to pretend like it's not. Yes, Matthias, exactly. VFX is just a one button click. And I'm being sarcastic just so that way I don't get people that actually believe that. Yeah. That's so funny. All right, these will go, I guess the snout, we don't really want anything in front of no matter what anyways. So let's do this. Let's put another, oh, that's fine. We'll put a merge node here. And now we want this guy. Oh, I guess we do want, geez, okay. And let's just make this really small splash here. We're probably going to need the same O-flow treatment, guys. And then where does his arm pop out? Like right here, I guess. I guess I want something here. VFX artists don't exist. You never see them in the outside world. I mean, hey, you might be onto something here. Probably do something like that. What if VFX artists were just the friends we made along the way? Ooh, that's cool. Probably put this a little further down though. Well, I appreciate you, Azan, for watching. Yeah, I've worked with different places. I mostly do work at boutiques though, from a studio perspective. I have a few friends that work at DNEG and whatnot. And then of course I have my own company, so that's where a good amount of my work is now. And then now I'm a little bit more getting into the directing side of things. So I have my own directing that I'm doing. Oh, that slow motion does work actually for that little bit there. Actually, it's so funny that I sped it up and it's like still like seems like it's slow-mo. Hey, Baragon, thanks for joining the chat when you could, though. We will have to roto, I think, right here. Yeah, let's do that. Very specific roto. So we'll do a stencil on this. And then this will need to fade out, of course. So from here, we'll change the opacity to be this. So we'll set the key to that. And then have the opacity lift to there. Because now our hand is going to be in front of it. I don't mind if some splashies make it through. We're not very particular. Yeah, it's probably fine. Let's just follow the hand a little bit more closely here. And I think we're out of the you just tell your PC to make some cool stuff and it'll do it. With lots of chat GPT, of course. I mean, nowadays, I guess you can do that. I think though that you're gonna find it hard to actually get it to do what you want it to do. But I mean, the technology that's out there is so freaking cool now. Okay, that's working. You know, honestly, not bad. Let's add another splashy though. We need another splashy when his nostril comes out. I think this one's cool. Maybe we like the high angle, of course. Let's try this one. Let's go download this in. No, dude, I haven't seen your My Tools yet. I actually do have to check it out. Sorry, I've just been this week. I've been so busy. Because we were getting into casting, and then I had like lunch meetings every other day, and then I had a freelance job thing, and then like it was like a whole thing. So yeah. But I do want to check it out. I did see it. I do want to check it out, and would love to give you some good helpful feedback on it. I think that's so cool. I love open source tools, man. Let's do time offset. Just put this about here for right now. And then I might need to crunch this, but maybe a little bit. Let's crunch it a little. And then use another transform node. And put this right where his nostril is. Oh, yes. So this stencil now is going to be the stuff that's everything behind his nostril. And now this water that we're doing right now is very specifically going to be in front. So let's put that down there. Just a different layer, I suppose. And we might, that scaling might be right, but let's scale it down a little bit. I don't think we need it quite as big. It's very big. Let's yeah, I saw your description on it, and that's cool. I will tell you this, I do already have Python scripts that do a lot of that stuff for me. But I think it's very useful. I think you were mentioning to just like standardize the approach for yourself, but then, other people who might not have like those proprietary softwares. I think you're 100% right because not everybody is going to have the same things. I might need to use a retime here. Maybe. Let's first do an O flow here and put the output speed at 2x, I think. Let's just check that to see what it looks like. Put 2x speed. Yeah, see, that's so slow, guys. So we need to make it 4x. I wonder if it's the frame rate they shot at or why it comes in so slow. It's looking a lot better. So now this... Go back in over here and your time offset, that's all good, but we need it to be a little bit further, I think. Might have it disappear at that point and then do that. Yeah. So let's set a keyframe here and then have that one completely gone. I might also use a retime option. I'm not quite sure yet. I have to fix some roto there. I will say when he goes down here, I think it's too early. So he lifts like right here is when the splash should kind of happen. So let's do that. So from here, so it's on the motion of lifting up. I probably should have animated it to be a little bit more of a pop if I wanted that. I didn't realize I was going to be stuck with the assets that I have, but whatever. A little hard to, I think, do a VFX asset where maybe it's just like a slow lift of water, not like a big pop, because they're using probably air cannons under the water to make the splash happen instead of like a slowly lifting object out of the water, which is kind of more so what I'm having. Although it's like a medium speed object. It's not like a slow object. And then maybe like when he goes there, I kind of want something. Okay. Next up, let's see how much we can get away with on this. I might not do CG at all on this, guys. use a stencil on a shape there. And honestly, guys, like we just follow this water curvature. I think we're chilling. $2D green screen actor into a 3D dragon. Very specific. It would be a fun sequence to do. Okay, and then here we go. Let's see, I'm just blend that a little better. I think that's good. Let's just make sure that we're not losing anything here. Okay, let's see how that plays back. Oh yeah, baby. I think when his fingers lift, I just want some small drips, I think, at that point. So maybe we go to some of those assets that I had for that. Oh yeah. It's looking good though. Probably right there. You could generate some wet maps, maybe in the CG. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. It's not going to be like a whole water sim. Well, this is also not, dude. I rendered this out in Eevee, like, so this is not even Eevee rendered. Oh, sorry, it's not even Cycles rendered yet. So, it's got to look a decent amount better once I do that. Might do one more. I don't know. No, my texture here is not in comp. That was an Eevee Playbash render, actually. So I'm not too concerned about like comping the color of it yet, because I know that doesn't really match or anything, because it's just an Eevee like quick output. Just want to see this play back now. I'm going to see what it looks like. And then that might be it for today's stream, actually. And then I'm going to render out the CG of it. So I'll go back to Blender and then I'll put the cycles render. If you guys want these project files, they will be on the Patreon. Link to that, of course, is in the description below. So if you guys want to join the Patreon, You can get the files there. However, from a water sim perspective, I think we need a little bit more like front pushing water, and that might require a bit of a sim. So let's just see what this looks like real quick first. Because also this water doesn't have any wakes in it, and it should have some big wakes, I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's going to need some big wakes. But I might use flip fluids for that. Okay. Yeah, it's going to need a little bit more cleanup, I think, once we have this next layer of CG water to put in front. Well, I have flip fluids and blender. You're right. I could use Ember Gen, like Liquid Gen or something like that, but I've never used Liquid Gen. Yeah, man. It's playing back okay. There's some weird roto things that are happening like right here because of the water that I was cutting out his body. Maybe this is the time to use it. Yeah. 100% maybe. 100%. Well, anyways, I'm thinking this doesn't look bad, guys. I'm actually very pleased so far with the way this is turning out. Yeah, I would say join the Discord. Link to that is in the description if you guys aren't already. I want to give a special shout out to our wonderful Patreon subscribers, of course. Oh, wait, it's my thing on. It is. Anyways, link to all the project files are in the description below. That's probably it for today's live stream, guys. I mean, today went really well. It's really just well, it went well besides the troubleshooting aspect of things, but Roto's working out good here. The water splashes look really good for 2D. I mean, it's just so nice once you can just like fit a lot of that in. I will say one thing I probably want to adjust. I'll do this real quick. This is I have this grade node here, and I should probably disable it. And then I should copy this grade node and then place it after all of the water. Because for whatever reason, I was not doing that. So now this water is the same brightness and everything. So that's all comped in correctly. I also don't have any reflections in yet. So we are going to have to add reflections. So the things we still have to do, we have to add reflections. We have to render out the actual CG of our creature here. And then probably do a water sim just to get those ripples to go in the right directions and stuff. There's a couple ways to approach it. There's some cool tricks. We could probably just use like some kind of like a displacement inside of Blender with a what's that thing called? It's where you use the grid basically, and it's like allows you to warp things if it's passing through it. So we could literally fake it that way because it's such a linear motion. We don't actually need a water sim. You don't need a water sim unless you're doing like legit real like, you know, close-ups on someone picking something up out of the water, you know? Like there's so many cool tricks for that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's see how this looks real quick. Oh yeah. I think now all the water kind of matches. You do have control with Sims, but I mean, we don't really need all that much control for this type of thing. It's just a linear motion. So I think we could get away with stuff. Awesome. Okay, I think maybe I have to make his skin a little bit more wet on that final render, which I think I already did anyways. But it's just, that's a cycles thing. I'm really happy with this. All right, guys, that's today's live stream. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for dropping by. I will see you guys next time. Make sure to join the Discord. I'll see you guys over there. I think I should be live next week. Next week's my birthday, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Next week is my birthday, next Monday, but I will be streaming Sunday, I'm pretty sure. So I might be streaming. I don't know, because I might actually be doing stuff that day as well. But maybe I should be streaming. I'll do a quick stream if anything. Maybe it won't be a big long stream, but I'll do a quick stream. But all right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Oh, it looks like my camera literally just went out anyways. Well, that's cool. There you guys go. I will just turn that off. Thanks for joining. My camera just ran out of battery. I became a VTuber in the last like 30 seconds of today's live stream. So I guess that's what happened. All right, you guys have a good one. I will see you guys next week. Bye.